everybody, and welcome to another edition of Get Sweaty. I'm your friendly neighborhood soda of Gallifrey, and I just realized I need to change my name because that is no longer a part of my list. And as usual, I'm joined by the full crew. I've got Ben, Bigfoot Drainer, Sol Govan, and 50 Shades of Geek with me. How are you guys doing on this beautiful morning?
Doing good. Glad to be back.
Yes. It's been a while since we've had the four on. And we really missed you last week. So, like, honestly, I think it's the hardest I've not had anything. 50 and his mom are like a great combo. He probably would disagree with me, but so
this week,
this week we're actually doing something a little different. As a birthday gift to 50's mom, we let her choose the topic, and she chose a really good and, for me, I guess, difficult topic. It's top 5 magical items that you would love to have or you wish existed. How hard was this list for you guys?
Pretty difficult. There's a lot of magical items. I stuck to movies because going into TV would have just made it even more harder for me.
Right.
So this, I guess I could say that this is not completely my definitive list because I did just stick to movies and also what came to the top of my head.
Yeah. I'm with you. This one is more likely to be my designated list, to be honest. But thing is, there's no science fiction on my list because, as we discussed, that might be potential lists down the line. So that's what made it harder because everything that was popping in my head was science fiction related. So it's like, no, that's for something else. What about you or 50, Ben?
I don't know why it was so hard for you guys. I had fun. It was easy for me.
Yeah, well, there's so many cool things out there.
Yeah, but a lot of these cool things could possibly kill you. So
yeah, and that's another criteria too I was struggling with. It's just like, there's a lot of things out there that I would be tempted to use in a bad way because, I mean, I'm human. So the things that are on my list are things that would be very useful to have. Well, maybe my number one could be used for good, but I wouldn't be allowed to use it much after that.
I went about that too. I was like, what would be useful for me, a human person, to use? And so I do have some dangerous stuff in my honorable mention, but I think my top 5 is pretty much anything that could be pretty useful for a regular human.
Yeah. And what about you, 50?
I'm going to be honest. I looked over at my list, and because of that whole criterion of, okay, it would be cool to have these things, but it could also be very bad. So because of that, I went with some of the more safe options, and therefore my list became pretty boring. I would say. I will say that I told you. What was that?
I was gonna let's get to it then.
Yes, and thank you, 50's mom.
Thank you, 50's mom.
Thank you, mom.
Okay, well, since she's not here, let's go to the next closest thing. And 50, if you'd like to start us off, please.
Well, if you've seen last week's episode, we did have a bit of an argument over whether or not a lightsaber counts as a quote-unquote magical object, because while for the most part it is pretty mechanical, its core is a kyber crystal, which can only be explained by magic. In other words, the Force. So I managed to find a bit of a loophole and pulled out something called a kyber saber. I'm guessing none of you guys have ever heard of that. Kyber saber.
I've heard of kyber saber.
Oh, okay. So let me just explain. A kyber saber was introduced in the TV show Lego Star Wars: The Freemaker Adventures, and it is a saber made entirely of kyber crystals, and is said to be the most powerful lightsaber in existence. A single slash can cut planets in half. And coming from a universe that created something like the Death Star, it's pretty powerful. Unfortunately, in order to keep it out of people on the wrong hands, the original creator of the saber broke it into pieces, and it's pretty much like the Infinity Stones. He hid them on separate planets, and you just have to find each separate piece in order to build yourself the saber itself, which Rowan Freemaker eventually did, and Palpatine wanted to have it for himself, and the classic Star Wars stuff of the good guys win and whatnot. So I found a way to put the lightsaber on my list, Mom. I hope you're happy.
That's true. That is actually a great loophole. And I've never heard of it because I forgot that they had released Lego Star Wars movies that don't involve really any of the main characters. Like, I mean, I remember seeing them in the store, but they just flew over my head.
For the most part, I believe that part is canon because they do kind of tread around the main story. That like they found a way to put Lando in, Luke is in the show, but they don't actually contradict anything that happened definitively in the movies. So you can still kind of say that it's canon, and it kind of. Thank you, Mom. And it kind of maybe sort of hints at how Palpatine survived, but not definitively. So,
right on. Okay, then, Soul. What's your number 5?
So,
My number 5 comes from the world of Doctor Strange, and it's the sling ring.
Oh, damn!
Because literally, you could travel anywhere with the sling ring, and pretty much like that would just make traveling so easy for me. I love to travel. I have friends all over the world, including 50 in Israel. So like I could just like, oh, I'm here in Miami. Let me go see 50 in Israel. Let me go see my friend Boggs in England. Let me go see my friend Leonie in Germany. It would be really easy. It'd be really quick. It would be really cheap. I want a sling ring.
It really would, and I never thought about the sling ring. I never did. That's a pretty good pick.
I normally try to stay away from teleports because while it is, as you say, easy and very convenient and cheap, maybe it's because I'm the son of a tour guide. I just enjoy the journey. So I would much prefer flight over teleport. And I realize all the bad stuff that comes with flight, running in the flies, the wind,
running in the
flies, all that. I get it. But I much prefer flight over instant teleport. There was even an episode of Doctor Who where they addressed that with the T-Mats. It was way back in the 60s. Where like it's like a phone booth. You step inside it and then you're just in a different place. And the doctor was like, "Oh, that's disappointing. And you missed the thrill of traveling." So maybe that's where it came from for me. I don't know. Ben,
you got a fan? You got somebody who agrees with you there, Saul?
Yeah, you would like that. Anything that doesn't involve getting your car out of its place. Yeah. Anything that doesn't involve paying for gas.
It's not a bad idea because gas isn't cheap right now.
Gas is not cheap right now. Not at all. I don't know what it is for you, Soder, if you've been over like on the West Coast, but over here it's now gotten over $3, which it hasn't been over $3 in a while for a gallon.
Yeah, us is by the liters. And what is it right now for us? Yeah, you're looking at like $1.50 on average, or sorry, $1.80. Yeah, it's $1.50 per liter on average, and that's $5.65 a gallon. Yeah,
makes me more happier that I don't have a car.
Yeah, thank you.
I live
in a small town where I can still walk everywhere.
So my number 5, I just found out about it this year, is a Darkhold from WandaVision.
Ooh,
really? You want the Darkhold? I mean, you do realize what the Darkhold is, right? I mean, it's
let the man speak, 50. Okay, let the man speak.
Okay.
Ben really wants to kill us. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't use it for evil, and they would use it for fun. Why not?
I know.
It is something fun. I don't know. Leave me alone.
No, we're just busting your chops there, Ben. Come on. All right. Why did you pick the Darkhold?
Yeah, it seems like a cool book to me. Reading it, you have that much power. It seems so cool to me. I guess, but I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah.
Power is cool, I guess, as long as it's not used for bad. Like, I mean, in the comics, that's how Dracula was born, from the Darkhold.
Oh, so you'd live forever, Ben?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you can join Roka in the Live Forever Club.
Yeah. Ooh, there's shots. Okay.
All right, Soda.
My number 5, and you can thank 50 for this, is the Doctor Strange's Cloak of Levitation.
Punt.
Okay. What, Ben?
Don't give 50.
No, nothing.
Okay. All right, your number 4 then, 50.
So my number 4, not the real one, but my number 4 would be the Trident of Aquaman, because I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated by the sea and sea creatures and everything involving the ocean. Let's not forget the ocean. There is more water on our planet than there is land.
Mm-hmm.
The ocean, the seas comprise the majority of the planet, and just imagine all the creatures that live inside it, and the creatures we haven't even discovered yet, areas we haven't even discovered. That's why the concept of Atlantis in the first place works, because just think about how much we have not explored our own oceans. Like, we have explored space in our own orbit more than we have explored our own planet, which is crazy to me. So yeah, the ability to
there's
first
monsters of all, down there. 50.
There might be monsters up there. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if you have the Trident,
Kumail Nanjiani makes a joke in one of his stand-up comedies about the fish that has the light bulb on it, and then they use it to attract other fish to then eat that fish, and they're like, there's not even the concept of light at that bottom of the sea, but yet someone said someone left the light on to go turn it off and get eaten by that fish. So there's what he says, all of God's mistakes are at the bottom of the sea.
Nice.
Yeah, that is true. And can I just say, leave it to you to think about something like that, Mother. That's all I'll say.
He's mom. That wow.
But yeah, I mean, if you,
mom.
Yeah, your mom's the best.
Yeah, but to finish my point, if you have something like this, the monsters down there aren't gonna touch you much. They're just gonna follow you, and you can be the master of the seas. And I like water, so
that's the one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
I was going to ask you, 50. What is the first thing you would say to a fish?
Boop.
Okay. I will say it's always bugged me when people give Aquaman shit because of what 50 just said. There's more water than there is land, and he's the only one that protects it. So it's just like, cut him some slack.
And
I was gonna say, I know he's not exactly persona grata right now, but Jeff Johns, his run on Aquaman helped completely change all that. Nobody says that anymore because of the movie and his comic run.
And I'll just say, if you haven't played or read the Injustice Gods Among Us comics, Aquaman ain't no one to be fucks with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he impales Poseidon and feeds him to a shark. That's all I'm going to say. And he calls him fish food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Some great stuff in there. Okay, Soul, what is your number 4?
All right, my number 4 is from Wreck-It Ralph, and it's Felix's hammer. It fixes everything, and it can heal people.
Why do I fix everything I touch?
Great line. Yeah. Great line.
But how friggin' useful would that be? Something's broken, you hit it with the hammer, it's fixed. You're feeling a little sick, hit yourself with the hammer, you've healed. So literally, it's so useful.
Yeah.
That's true.
Speaking as both a mechanic and someone who has broken several things in a fit of rage, I would definitely like to have a hammer like that.
There's just one thing, I wouldn't let it be known that I have a hammer like this, because otherwise I wouldn't get a rest of sleep. It would have to be kept private.
Yes.
Which is basically anything on this list.
Hammer in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, anything on this list, this is like, okay, let's not let the whole world know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a great pick. My mind never went to Pixar for Disney Pixar for anything. But
Name on all of us, except Soul, obviously.
And see, and that's why I said it was hard, is because there's so many things to choose from, and you're going to forget stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. And I'm going for useful, practical items for a human being to use.
Yeah. And that's where my other 4 come in that criteria as well.
And she doesn't pick a book that can kill people. Ben, what's your number 4?
Nice segue.
The Eye of Agamotto.
Oh.
Okay.
Let me guess. Number 1, everything Doctor Strange owns.
What's your number 4, Soda?
So, Soul is going to be the only one that will appreciate this. It's Leo Valdez's tool belt from the Heroes of Olympus series.
I didn't know we could use books.
Yeah, from anything.
Did you not watch?
I thought it was just movies and TVs.
No, she said everything. She said books, comics, video games, everything.
I'm so upset now. I would have totally.
This is why it's hard.
That.
This is why it was hard.
Oh.
This is why you shouldn't miss this show. So.
Oh, shots fired. Okay,
not nice, 50. Not nice.
So Soul knows what this is, but for everybody else, I will read the description on the Rick Riordan fandom. According to Leo, anything can be found in the average workshop can be pulled out of the tool belt. It's basically like Mary Poppins,
including Felix's hammer.
Yeah. The belt is seemingly endless, and he doesn't know where it all comes from. However, larger items, especially things that don't have to do with mechanics, require the belt to recharge. It is also known that big items, such as chainsaws or magical weapons, like Jason's swords, I'm not even going to pronounce that, or Piper's dagger Catoptris, cannot be pulled out of the tool belt because they aren't normally found in a forge or workshop. Leo can also retrieve food from his tool belt as well. He can put items in the belt that did not come from there and retrieve them at a later time. Also, any item he puts in it will become weightless until he takes it out. So some of the things that have appeared from this tool belt in the series, you've got your normal wrenches, your screwdrivers, your duct tapes, watchmaker's tools, nail screws. He's pulled out hamburger patties, tofu burger patties, buns, breath mints, vials of gasoline, bandages, safety whistles, a Wii remote once, which was pretty damn funny. And Kleenex. And of course things like Odysseus's compass and stuff, but pretty much anything that you can find.
Answers your question.
It's a tool belt, but yeah, basically what it is, it's like if you think about it, it's like a bag of holding in Dungeons and Dragons meets Mary Poppins' bag sort of thing. That's kind of what it is.
So basically, you become a video game character. Like every sort of utility you find, just put it in an invisible bag that apparently is infinite.
Pretty much, and it fits into basically what Saul had just said and whatever. You can pull anything out that fixes from it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be magical, of course, but it could be very handy to have.
Yep.
And plus, I mean, Leo is the best. I love Leo.
Leo is so fun. Leo has the humor of Percy when you're reading from his perspective, but then also like he's the only Latino character. He's hilarious. His backstory is very tragic, but he still is good. He's so good. So good.
Yes, and this might be a bad thing, but whenever I'm reading the books, and of course you got the monologue going in your head, I give a Cholo type accent to Leo because I think it's funnier to hear those words come out in that accent. Yes. Okay, that's my number 4. Ben. Number 3, sorry.
My number 3 is in danger of getting punted, but it's Harry Potter's invisibility cloak.
Nope.
Okay, then. It is this part of the Deathly Hallows, meaning it came literally from the Angel of Death. So you know how powerful it is. Yeah, thank you for a much better presentation than I ever could. Yeah, so basically, I'm pretty much invisible already, but making myself completely invisible would be even better. That was a joke, by the way. But just the way Harry and Ron and Hermione use the cloak and how practical it is, and more importantly, for my case, how you can use it in the video games, could be just like Saul said, very useful. And even though he kind of uses it to break the rules, he does break the rules for good things, for good reasons, and he saves the school using that cloak. And just imagine applying that sort of practicality to day-to-day life. Imagine how many good things you can do with something like that. And just the idea that in the wizarding world, invisibility cloaks, and they said it in the books, it's some of them don't really last, don't really have the power of invisibility for long. But Harry's invisibility cloak specifically, that's why I mentioned that. Like I said, it came from death, and it's going to continue to have the invisibility powers for the rest of eternity. The cloak of Ignatius Peverell. I hope you're listening, Aisha.
Ignatius, you mean?
Reading it in Hebrew and reading it in English is different.
True.
No, seriously. I mean, the spelling kind of threw me off, but I did know the name.
And that's what matters.
I mean, if I wrote it on a whiteboard, it would have been accepted. I hope.
That's true. All right,
but
Sol.
yeah, that's my number 3.
What's your number 3?
So my number 3, again, very similar to Leo's tool belt. I kind of said, because they both do pretty much the same thing. I said like Mary Poppins bag / Hermione's bag. It's the same thing. Yeah. It literally is a bag that you put a bunch of things in it. It holds forever and ever and ever. You can pull anything out of the bag. Super useful. I believe for Hermione specifically, like they say it doesn't weigh anything too, like when you're holding it. And I think it's the same for Mary Poppins, but I'm not 100% sure on Mary Poppins' side. But pretty much it's like, I could carry whatever with me. I could literally be like nomadic if I needed to and just go from place to place and carry like my whole life in that bag. And it's a tiny little bag for Hermione. It's a little bit bigger for Mary Poppins, but still, like, holds all the things you need.
Yeah.
It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, and if it is exactly Hermione's, it's easily attachable to your belt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever hear the theory that Mary Poppins actually studied at Hogwarts?
Yep.
No, but I've heard Mary Poppins is a Time Lord.
I heard that too, and I don't know which one of the two I prefer.
I like her out of Hogwarts, personally.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
That one makes more sense because that would make her umbrella the
mom. Yeah. So some purses feel like that. They really do.
Yeah. There's just certain friends whose purses I will never go through because I will get lost.
So it's not that magical after all.
Oh.
If it exists in the real world.
Or is it? There's things out there that we cannot explain.
Yeah.
Okay. Ben, your number 3.
My number 3. The Dark One's dagger from Once Upon a Time.
What is wrong with you, Ben? What is wrong with you?
I'm trying to learn a little bit about Ben. I'm a little worried.
It's always the quiet ones.
Yeah.
I want to remember why is that amazing?
Just
I
for
want to
that.
remember ever, and I want to do magical stuff.
But you're gonna be evil. Unless you already are. So
that's why I changed his name. He's now Kylo Ben.
Why do you have to be evil if you have a dagger? Why do you have to be evil?
No. We're just busting your chops. You're going for.
I'm going for powerful and fun and useful things.
Mm-hmm.
Are they used for evil? Perhaps. But does that mean they make me evil? I don't think so.
No.
That's why this list was so easy for him. He was like, let me go for all the evil.
No kidding, eh? No kidding. But in all honesty, if you think about it, a lot of these things could be used for good or evil. So
yeah. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Ben. Do you want to have the dagger itself so you can control the Dark One? Or do you want to stab the Dark One and become the Dark One yourself and have the magic for yourself?
I want to have a magic for myself.
Okay. Just like you said, as long as you use it for good.
That's Rumpelstiltskin's dagger, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Rumpelstiltskin used it, but it's known as the Dagger of the Dark One.
It's been a while since I've seen the show, and the last time I saw it, I think he might have still had it. That's why I was asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 3 is also from the world of Harry Potter. It's and I just got rid of the thing. It's the Marauders map.
Ooh, good one.
Okay.
I thought about it, but since it only shows Hogwarts and Hogsmeade, I was like,
that's not on my list.
True. Okay, I'm going to rephrase this then. The concept of the Marauders map. How's about that?
Better.
Okay. Because, yeah, as you guys just said, it is mostly centricated to Hogwarts. But basically, with this map, you can see anything that's going on where you are, even to the point where you can see 2 people stooping. Thanks for that Easter egg, by the way, Warner Brothers. That was pretty funny. But yeah,
when did that happen?
So it's the end credits of Prisoner of Azkaban, where they're doing like you get all the names, and then you see like the Marauders map. If you look, they've got a pair of boots like this, and then another pair of boots like this in the corner of a room. Oh yeah, it's.
I mean, your dirty mind went there. It could have been anything.
Oh my lord! Okay, teenagers, really?
Why did you have to look that up? Specifically, look through the credits, looking for something like this.
No, I didn't look for it. I somebody posted it online, and that's how I found out about it. Like, I didn't actually look for it. I'm not that sick. Well,
you're sick, but not that sick.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's a disguised as a blank piece of parchment. You have to use the words "I solemnly swear I am up to no good" to activate it. But once you do, you can see all these delights. See who's in what room. You get to find some nice. Sorry.
Unless you're Snape.
Unless you're Snape, because it's one of the exceptions. It is cursed to make fun of Snape. Yeah, God. And of course, one of the downfalls is, though, it does not differentiate between 2 people with the same name. Hence why the confusion in Goblet of Fire with Barty Crouch. Because instead of Barty Crouch Sr., Barty Crouch Jr., it just said Bartemius Crouch, which is the full name.
But I mean, it's a pretty smart map. It couldn't have had JR on it.
I have to say, I love all the movies, full being movies. The one thing I wish they delve into about the map in the third one is the history of the map.
Yeah.
But I mean, we discussed this.
I think Alfonso Cuarón did a good job with what he had, though.
Of course,
yeah.
Of course.
And like I said on our Harry Potter episode, it would have been great. It's great backstory. In a movie setting, it would have ultimately just been a couple of people sitting in a room talking to each other.
Mm.
Yeah,
that's very cinematic.
That's a good point.
Unless they did something like what they did with A Tale of 3 Brothers, where they actually sort of had flashbacky animation with narration. That would be great. But yeah, probably would have made the movie even longer than it needed to be. So.
Your mic is echoing now, 50.
Okay. Is it still doing it?
I'm not hearing it.
You're good. You're good. It was for a little bit.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, 50. Sorry, do you have something else to add, Ben?
No.
Are you sure? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'll tell you in the chat. Nothing.
Okay, so 50. Your numero dos.
Pun from earlier, the Cloak of Levitation. Like I said earlier, I prefer travel to teleport, and the Cloak of Levitation is just one of those methods. And there's a few discrepancies between the comics and the movies, because in the movies it doesn't have a mind of its own. Doctor Strange pretty much just controls it with his own mind. That would have been nice, but I think I would have preferred that rather than just a cloak that can think on its own. However, in the movie, it does prove itself more useful, like in attacking other people while Doctor Strange is preoccupied with something else.
So I'm using the movie one because I've actually never read a Doctor Strange comic book, oddly enough. And plus, I like the idea of the goofy sentient piece of clothing. I think that's just hilarious.
Oh, blanket of death!
Yeah, but this thing has like so many cool properties. Like, thank God for the internet, because this is both cloaks of levitation grant their user the ability to float and fly. The red, there's more than one. The red cloak is capable of reaching subsonic speeds, though must require some small extent of magic in the wearer to function. It is also possible to use the cloak while standing on it in a similar way to a magic carpet. Additionally, response to commands can be directed even if not worn. It's been used as a shield because of its durability, and it can also augment its physical shape because Doctor Strange once turned it into a kimono-like trench coat. So pretty much you can do anything.
Yeah.
To quote Doctor Who, right now I'm all about wearable technology.
Oh, dear Lord. I thought you were going to go wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey, but I'm like, that doesn't fit anymore.
Wearable technology. If you're a Doctor Who fan, you get the reference.
Yep. That's Capaldi's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only he could have come up with something like that.
That's true. Capaldi the rock star.
He was great. He's my second favorite.
I have to catch up on him.
He was great. Took him a while to reach, that, but I mean, we're not talking about Doctor Who, we're talking about magic.
Okay, and on that note, Sol, you're number 2.
And my number 2 is from Wonder Woman. It's The Lasso of Truth.
That's my number 2 as well.
So I guess we both could speak up. If you ever are like, is this person lying to me? Ask the question again. Let's see what they really think. And then it's great in battle, the way she uses it. It's you could also ride lightning with the lasso, so that's really cool. So like all about this transportation here for me, along with knowing if people are lying to me or not. Great, cool.
That's why it's on my list, because to be honest, it is the one that I wish was around the was actually a real thing. Because just think about how much bullshit we wouldn't have to deal with if we had this, or been able to put a piece of it onto, dare I say it, a Republican or a despot or something. Like, it could be a great tool to
put it around Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, exactly. Or like fashion a belt out of the material and he doesn't know about it, and all of a sudden, whoops, he says the wrong thing at Congress. Like, that's what I've been thinking of, because that's the easiest way to catch these suckers is to use them.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right? That's one of the main reasons I am happy this something like that doesn't exist, because some lies exist for a reason.
You're right.
Especially in government.
You're right, but
if everyone in government told the truth all the time, governments would collapse.
No, you're 100% right. But
you're right.
in certain, there are certain moments where it would be needed. Like January 6th would be one. That's one where you need it.
I think, too, the way Soda's going about it, too, is we have these people in the U.S. government that are literally putting party over people. And even though they didn't like Trump, or they think what happened on January 6th was wrong, or they think what's going on is wrong, they're going along with it because it's better to get reelected than to tell the truth. Yeah. And so if you had these people literally say the actual truth that everyone else knows, and if they could just fucking say it, then it will make our world a little bit better instead of going more and more towards fascism every day.
Yeah, and I do understand where you're coming from, 50, because that is the truth. Like, you have to lie in government, but there are instances where it's not appropriate. And like I said before, that January 6th commission, the reason why that's the one that sticks in my head is because when they were doing the January 6th commission bill, the Republicans, sorry for the political talk, but the Republicans pretty much made the Democrats give up like a whole bunch of things. There's a list of demands saying we won't do this until you do this. And then finally they agreed. They brought it to the vote. No Republican voted for it.
And they do that all the time.
That's things like that I want to prevent.
Let me just rephrase my earlier statement, if the court will allow. If something like this would only be used in trials or in situations similar, instead of putting your hands on some stupid book and saying that you're not going to tell a lie, just strap someone to an actual thing that can detect lies and can prevent lies in court. I'm looking at you, Netanyahu. And if this thing would have been used in courts for people who should not lie in these types of situations, I would be okay with. The main reason it's not on my list is because I don't need to know every little white lie that everyone is trying to hide from me.
Right, and neither do I, but my purpose would be to use it like Wonder Woman would be, to catch the wrong that's going on in the world. And it's not like a little white lie,
how you use
a big thing that can affect the world. That's what I would use it on.
And then also, you can ride lightning.
True. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. It'd be cool to be friends with.
Like I said earlier, flight.
Yeah.
I mean, we were saying that. I understand why they didn't keep it in the movie, but I wish Snyder kept the one scene of Aquaman spilling his guts to everyone. I wish not seen Mister in the Snyder cut.
Stuff like that would be funny to see in real life too. Just somebody accidentally
sitting on it.
Yeah, accidentally sitting on it. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Yeah. That's Soul. That's one of the things she actually asked me about. Like, don't you wish something like this would be real?
Yeah, I mean, if you do think about it, it could have great real world implications if something like this was real. It could.
Yeah, and the whole reason why it exists in the first place, that's the whole reason why William Moulton Marston put that into the comics, is because men lie all the time.
Yeah, and he's the creator of the lie detector. Like, there you go.
True. I forgot about that. Yeah. I think I'm echoing again.
I'm not
a little bit. But Kylo Ben, you're next.
Yes.
Okay. Oh boy, you found my last one was Matt. We didn't hear this one.
Shit.
The One Ring.
Yeah, okay. That actually did cross my mind.
You're just Kylo Ben. You're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow.
Uh-oh, precious, my precious.
I want the power of invisible. I want the power to be invisible, but I don't want any other consequences. So take me down what you want. And I don't want the cloak, because the cloak is something you could grow out of. This is a ring that then goes on your finger and it becomes invisible. What's wrong with that?
Ben, you're also completely ignoring the fact that it drives you insane and makes you obsess over it. And while, Smeagol did live for 500 years, what kind of life do you want to have? That's why I prefer the cloak. It doesn't drive you insane, and you can pass it down to your son, assuming you choose to have one. Go on.
I mean, you could pass it down to a daughter.
That's true.
Or okay, I should have said child, but leave it to you to make me look bad. Continue, Ben. Please continue.
God forbid it gets passed down in the family, and the wife or the husband uses it on the spouse. Dear Lord.
That's something I always wondered about that whole part in the books. Like, so every single member of the Peverell family only had one offspring. They pass it down to the cloak. I mean, Harry had 3 children. Who's he going to give the cloak to?
Maybe the eldest.
I think the way they did it is the eldest gets it.
Yeah. Isn't that usually how it is in families anyways? Like, yeah.
Okay.
Only child, I don't friggin' know. But
you guys change my mind. I will take the cloak.
No. Ben, don't change it. Like I'm saying, I would have done it too, but just because a reason why I didn't make my list is because of what 50 said. It does have the ability to make you go crazy, and I don't trust myself. Let's put it that way.
And also, as soon as you put it on, the ring wraiths can find you. You're basically letting the enemy know where you are.
Oh God! You guys won't let me have any.
No.
No, Ben, you have fun. You pick this. It's yours.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them.
We're just having fun.
I'm saying why it's not on my list because I don't trust myself with its power.
Okay. I trust myself.
Yes, you trust yourself with these things. I don't.
I use all this stuff for good.
So that shows a little more about Soda's character.
Well, I've got some issues. Just unfortunately, we don't have enough time to go through them. If you thought that the half of the Smashathon disappeared, oof. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Ooh, shots fired.
Well, no, I'm just saying we'd be here for so long, the video would end up disappearing off of YouTube because they don't like 24-hour videos.
Oh, that's why it
like what happened to the Smashathon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why you can't find part 2, is because they didn't back it up, and yeah, YouTube just deleted it.
Well, I'm glad I was awake for most of it. That's all I can say.
Me too. All right, so my number 2 we're going to skip because it was the same as Saul's. So you want to do honorable mentions or do our number 1s first?
Do honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention. That's cool.
All right, I'll go first then. Zatanna Spellbook, Quidditch, and which I know people play in real life, but I'm talking like the real Quidditch. Okay. And then
I mean,
that's why it's honorable mentions.
No, but the topic is magical objects. So it would like
then it'd be the broom and he could play Quidditch on it. So
yeah,
I think, and plus like the balls and everything are all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's specifically all the balls and okay.
Yeah. Everything to do with Quidditch, like just a Quidditch
it counts and it's his honorable mention.
Yeah. Okay. And then this is why I was asking about droids, because who wouldn't want a companion? I wouldn't mind having C-3PO, to be real, to be honest.
You want C-3PO? I'd rather have R2-D2.
Yeah.
Okay, R2-D2 is cooler, but C-3PO knows all these languages and you can actually talk to him.
Yeah, but Anakin understands R2-D2, and also R2-D2 is more helpful.
Yeah, and also Soda. While it's true, C-3PO knows all these languages, that's pretty much all he ever does.
Okay.
Talk.
I'm talk. Gonna amend that then.
And talk.
I'm going to amend that then. 3PO and R2-D2. How's about that? Because in reality, they're a combo. They're a combo.
Yeah.
They're a combo. You can't split them up.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, just think about all the laughs you'll get from those two.
Yeah.
So that's my honorable mentions. 50. What about you? Oh, sorry, Ben. Go ahead.
I was going to say, will you add BB-8 too?
Yeah, why not? BB-8 as well. Because I just love it in Force Awakens where he just flashes the thumbs up. That was my favorite scene in the whole movie. 50, what about you?
Okay, so my honorable mentions, because I already said the Cloak of Levitation, I also had honorable mention Aladdin's Magic Carpet as an alternative. Rafiki's staff from The Lion King, because it has magical properties and it has the ability to make paintings move and tell stories with it, and that's why that's why in every generation there is a royal Medusi, an advisor to the king that has a staff, and it's like Harry Potter. The staff needs to choose you, not you need to choose the staff. It's this whole thing. But yeah, that the magic carpet, and in certain situations this thing, the time turner, because even though it has a limit to how many hours you can go back in time. It would be nice for scheduling purposes, to do certain things over again. Of course, you have to be careful not to see yourself, but it would be nice to be in 2 places at once using something like this.
That was another one that it was like, because I tried to keep it to like 1 per property, and that was one that was in strong consideration as well.
That was one. I don't want to mess with time. Because when you mess with time, it always.
If you know what you're doing, that's why the Doctor's been able to do what he's been doing for as long as he does.
I was gonna say, does that man really know what he's doing?
Mostly,
yeah.
And did he just call her a man?
I gotta do it. Doctor is a man. I'm sorry.
I gotta do it.
All right. So, what about you? What are your honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions, I have a lightsaber, the tablet of Akhmin Ra from Night of the Museum.
Oh, that's a good one.
And the Elder One.
Oh, that is really good. Those are really good. Yeah.
The reason it's not on my list is because death follows anyone who holds it, and that's why I went with the cloak instead of the wand.
That's why I'm just sticking with the Triforce with the Deathly Hallows on my arm. And Ben, what about you? What
evil artifacts do you have in your honorable mentions, Ben?
The Necronomicon. No.
Of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
The Ring. Doctor Strange. No. No. Doctor Strange cloak.
Okay, the cloak of levitation.
The Never-Ending Storybook.
Oh, I've actually never seen those movies.
The Black Series 1, Once Upon a Time, and the Book of Shadows from Psalm.
Oh, those are actually really, really good picks.
You want the Dark Fairies one. Why am I not surprised?
Okay, then.
Come on, you know I love you. Come on.
Yeah, we're just gonna say that now so he doesn't kill us when it's time. It's like the old Dane Cook joke. Like there's always that one guy in the office you're always trying to be nice to because you never know when he's gonna go off, so you just give him a Mars bar. So when he goes off, he comes to you and he turns like, "Thanks for the Mars bar."
I have the feeling if Evil Ben is going to kill one of the three of us, he's going for 50 first. So Soda and I are safe right now.
Yes.
Then
I can hide in the
isn't
woods.
it a good thing that I'm the furthest one from him?
It's true. It's true. I can hide in the wilderness. 50 can hide in the desert. And Saul can go to her parents' cabin and just hide there.
Also, Ben, remember, I do have military training.
Touche.
Yep.
Okay, that just reminded me of the very first match between Jason Inman and Scott Snyder. Well, somebody's
Scott
already
Snyder.
been to war. Jeff Snyder.
Scott Snyder.
The whole war comment. As somebody who's actually been to war.
Jeff Snyder.
Yeah. I'm tired. Okay, I'm tired.
I was going to use that as a promo for one of my matches, but it didn't quite pan out that way.
Okay, moment of truth time. Number ones. 50. You're number one.
The Eye of Agamotto. And I'm going specifically the comic book version, not the movie version, because while the movie version is pretty cool and it's got a great design, it pretty much only controls time, while the one in the comics kind of does everything. Like, when Doctor Strange uses it, for the most part, the first few issues, there's literally an eye inside it that comes out of the jewel itself and attaches itself to Doctor Strange's forehead, becoming a third eye of sorts and allowing him to see things that he normally wouldn't be able to see. He can use it to generate light from it, to create a path in the dark dimension to be able to walk on. It can pretty much do everything just by communicating with it. That's why it belonged to one of the most powerful entities in the Marvel universe, Agamotto himself. But yeah, even the movie version would be nice because one of the few things I'm really, really fascinated by and a superpower I would love to have is time manipulation. Not time travel, time manipulation. There's a difference. So, and obviously it would be very nice to turn back time and bring back my dog from the dead and make sure she stays young for as long as I live.
Yep.
So that's my number one.
I think that's worthy.
Yep.
That's that is actually a very noble thing. Ben. All right, Saul, what is your number one?
So I would say that I'm the opposite of scared of heights. You know, like people who are scared of heights. I love being up high.
Not me.
I love being up high. I love being.
So let me understand. Scared of being at a low place?
No, Nikki. I like being up high. I like seeing things from above. I like seeing the landscape, all of that. So my number one is the magic carpet from Aladdin. Oh, again, nice. It's another travel thing. You can go up as high as you want. You can see all of the land below you. You can travel to wherever you want. So like on days that I'm like, I want to have the journey instead of just doing the quick sling ring with my fifth one. I want to have the journey. I could get up on the magic carpet. I could have a nice little magic carpet ride.
Yeah, you can see a whole new world from that thing.
But that would be a lot of fun. It really would. It's funny. I'm afraid of heights, but one of my things I always wanted to do was be able to fly. Really weird, but that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm too afraid of height.
Oh, if you give me like Xanax or something, I'll be fine.
Yeah, but don't forget, the magic carpet is a living creature. If you fall off, it can save you.
That is true.
And if you're going by Soul's list, if you fall off, you can also use the sling ring to teleport yourself to safety. Think, Ben. Think.
Speaking of Ben.
Okay, so tell us why the Death Note is your number one.
Oh God, if it's the fucking Death Note, that's it. We're done.
Okay, Sona, what's your number one?
You're making me laugh. And the Holy Grail from Indiana Jones, Last Crusade.
That was another close one because it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I didn't want to live forever. That's what I'm getting at. That's why I picked one of my stuff. I didn't want to live forever. And it's a cool thing to have, the Holy Grail. And
Oh, that's not supposed to be playing. I was looking for something for number one, but that wasn't supposed to be playing. The reason why I didn't include it in my list is because there are some ambiguity about it in the movie. Because I know it says in the movie you're not allowed to take the Grail past that mark on the floor, but what they don't specify is if you lose your, I guess, would you lose your immortality? Because Dr. Jones ended up passing away. That was my only question.
I think, according to actual lore of this thing, you need to continue to drink. It's like the Phantom of Youth. You have to keep drinking in order to keep yourself young.
That makes sense. Okay, because like I said, in the movie, they didn't really specify that. That was my only hesitation.
So, if I had it, does that mean I would have to stay in the one selection?
If you're doing the Last Crusade version, yes. If you just go the Holy Grail in general, then no.
Yeah, but in general, not from Last Crusade.
Because that would suck. I wouldn't want to live that life of that crusade night. That would be boring.
Yeah.
You wouldn't choose wisely.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't choose it because I do not want to live forever. I did just say that I want to bring my dog back and make sure she lives, but for myself, even Lord Rassilon himself knew that immortality was a curse, not a blessing.
Okay, Soda, you're number one.
So, the muted one. What is your number one?
Sorry, I muted it for a second because I had to bring something up. I just don't want a video to play or whatever. It's actually might be one of the more powerful things on the list. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worships evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. It is the Green Lantern powering, but I'm going to specify this because there are technically two. This is not the Alan Scott powering because that comes from an experiment from long before when the Guardians first came about. That's something slightly different. I'm talking the powering worn by Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Guy Gardner, and Kyle Rayner. This thing is incredibly powerful. Basically, is the most powerful out of all the spectrums is the green because it is willpower.
I thought it was the white that was the most powerful.
Well, okay, yes, that's when you get them all together. But individually, I would say it's the green because it is. Here's a fun fact: Blue Lanterns can only use their ring if a Green Lantern is in the vicinity.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Green Lanterns will be able to charge a Blue Lantern's power ring to 100% and beyond because of that. It also has the powers. It's a conduit for energy, so you could use energy projection, make a force field, construct creation, phasing, environmental playback, will empowerment, invisibility, enhanced sight. You can do an energy twin. Of course, it flies. It's a universal translator, which would come really in handy. It can duplicate itself. It alters your mind. It creates pocket dimensions. It can even bring people back. It also has thought relay, so it can be used as a telepathic link between people. The only downfall is red energy rings does the opposite of the blue one, where it does dissolve its power. But it also, luckily, this is not an impurity anymore. It does not have an impurity to yellow. But it is easily the most powerful item on my list. You can use it any which way for good, evil, what have you. And it can be very useful. Something's heavy that you can't lift, you just project like a giant hand to pick it up, and away you go. Like,
including Thor's hammer, though.
That would be a fun test.
I just broke your mind in half, didn't I?
I'm going to say no. The reason I say no is because I don't think any of the Green Lanterns are worthy. Maybe Jon Stewart.
But, I mean, it's the same conversation they had in Age of Ultron. Like, if you put the hammer in an elevator and it lifts up.
It's true. I would have to put it to the test, but I would say none of those Green Lanterns are eligible because, well, Hal Jordan became Parallax and tried to destroy the world. Yeah, and Kyle Rayner has been inhabited by Parallax himself, and yeah, I don't think they will qualify to be able to lift the
and Guy Gardner is Guy Gardner.
It's Guy Gardner, yeah.
What would happen?
Jon Stewart is the only one who could.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah,
I would like to see Jon Stewart lift Thor's hammer. That would be nice. That would be badass.
What would happen if Superman had the ring? Would Superman be able to lift Thor's hammer?
Superman can lift Thor's hammer. He has
in certain situations, yes.
Yeah.
He has
now
lifted
here's
it.
A scary thought to do with power rings. Batman got a yellow lantern ring once, and that is the ring of fear.
Superman.
Yeah, it's Superman, and that is the ring of fear. Batman with the ring of fear. That's scary.
Pun.
Yeah.
The reason why I don't have it on my list is because I consider it more to be a sci-fi artifact than a magical artifact. That's why I don't have it on my list personally. But this kind of opens up a whole new can of worms of what really is magical. Is alien artifacts magic that we just don't understand?
Well, Thor says it right in the first Thor movie. What you call science, we call magic. Right?
Yeah.
So to the Guardians, this could be magic.
There you go.
Okay. By the way, do you know what is the oath of the Red Lanterns?
You know what? I used to know all of them off the top of my head, but I don't anymore. If you know it, spout it.
With blood and rage of crimson red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate will burn you all. That is your fate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah. My favorite though is the orange lantern rings.
I was just about to bring that one up because it's so funny.
This is the oath. What's mine is mine, and mine and mine, and mine and mine and mine, not yours.
So basically, because orange is the power of avarice, and they in one of the comics, I actually have it. They took Larfreeze to Vegas, which, when you're greedy, not the place to be. So, and then so here's the yellow one. In blackest day and brightest night, beware your fears made into light. Let those who try to stop what's right burn like my power, Sinestro's might. Cool. And Blue Lantern, in fearful day, in raging night, with strong hearts full, our souls ignite. When all seems lost in the war of light, look to the stars, for hope burns bright. Indigo. I'm not translating that. Tormoricon,
one is complicated.
Tromofon, Tornek, what or Terlantern, Kurlo, Abinsur, Tok Lek Leknok, Formoro, Sir. Okay.
I think we're good here.
Yeah.
Two more. For Star Sapphire, for hearts long last and full of flight, for those alone in blackest night, accept our ring and join our fight. Love conquers all with violet light. And the final one, the Death Lantern. The blackest night falls from the skies. The darkness grows as all light dies. We crave your hearts and your demise. By my black hand, the dead shall rise.
So the white ones don't have an oath?
Apparently not.
Didn't they introduce a new ring recently? The ultraviolet ring or something like that?
Yeah, that one is on here as well. I don't know about that one, actually, because I've fallen off the comics a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, well, that brings an end to this list. Thank you very much, 50s Mom. This has been fun. Because, this is one of the ones there wasn't that many punts. Really, it was just the Doctor Strange stuff that was punted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, you wanted it. I didn't give you the Red Lantern's ring. You took it. You wanted it. You deal with that. Thank you very much.
So, 50, you actually might appreciate this. So, Dave from Schmoes of the North, he named his cat Daxstar.
That's awesome.
Lantern cat.
That's awesome.
Which explains a lot because that cat has actually knocked out his internet a few times. That explains a lot. One time he was on air with LGT, Let's Get Ready for a Tailgate, and he got like booted off 4 times because his cat kept wandering around and knocking off the cable.
Wow.
Evil cat.
Well, you name it Daxter, of course. But yeah, so that is our top 5 magical items list. Ben, what is next week's list?
Well, it's funny. This didn't came to me when we were having this great talk about Green Lanterns. Top 5 DC heroes.
Done.
Oh,
I'm a Marvel person.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
No. DC.
No, I was going to say,
love Batman.
and then we can do Marvel at another time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go DC. It's better when it's more contained and more open.
Exactly. Because if you're going to go top 5 heroes, it's like you're not just DC Marvel.
specificity over generalism.
It expands. But no, top 5 DC heroes is amazing because now we're in my wheelhouse.
Mine too.
Yeah. My beautiful, beautiful comic books. All right. So, all right. 50, where can everybody find you?
You should have said my precious. Anyways, you can find me on my channel, 50 Shades of Geek. You can find me on Twitch, 50 Shades of Geek without the F. All my live streams are going later on my gaming channel, 50 Shades of Gaming. You can also check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Pokemon Star Cross and Crescent. I'm designing a Pokemon fan game based on Israel. And hopefully one of these days, my match over on Multiplayer Entertainment, my Fandom Fights Fan League match against the former champion. Hopefully that's going to drop this week, if not next week. The release dates is kind of confusing to me, so make sure to follow Multiplex for that.
Okay, and Sol, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at SolGovan on Twitter. You can find me later today on John Rooker's YouTube channel for the Ultimate Schmodown After Show. We're going to have Chance and we're going to have JT, sorry. Yeah, that's who we're having on. And then, check me out over on the Pop Culture Universe YouTube channel. We're doing trailer reactions. We're doing Bad Batch reviews, me and Boggs. So go check that out.
I still have to watch that show.
Me too.
All right, Kylo Ben. Now that you've scared the shit out of us, where can everybody find you?
You know that you might puppet.
That explains so much.
You can find me right here on the Minneapolis Network every Thursday with Matt on Shinigami, every Friday on Recapping the Past, every Saturday here, also on Saturday on Matt Schmodown, a Schmodown show where we go into players' careers. This week we're going into the career of one, the smasher, Kevin Smith. And we might have a big surprise for you guys. So come check that out on 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern, over at Matt's channel, Schmoes of the North. Matt, take it away.
So you can find me.
The power of sweaty compels you. The power of sweaty compels you.
Oh, it is June after all. You can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me on this channel on all the shows Ben's listed. You can also find me over my other channel, Schmoes of the North, where I'm on several shows over there. You can find me pretty shortly on Speaking of Schmodown, guest hosting that again. And then tonight, live at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, it is episode 3 of Let's Talk About Star Wars. It's the Star Wars show that I produce. Basically, they're not doing reviews. They're not talking about what's going on right now in Star Wars. Basically, they're just talking about things that have existed in Star Wars, be it legends, be it canon. Today, though, it is a canon episode, and they are pitting 2 characters against each other. It's going to be, it's the Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels, the main Inquisitor, and he is going to be, in the argument, he's going to be facing Cal. Yes, the guy from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah. So they're going to be competing those against comparing stats and what have you. And stay tuned because I'm the Cody Hall of the group, so something weird's going to happen every time. So yes, on that note, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on this list, and we will see you next week for another edition of Get Sweaty. Stay sweaty and smash cancer, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Smash cancer.